Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the Future, the game. Last episode I chose pretty much about the worst place you could choose to end the episode. We're in the middle of talking to our father, trying to figure out what's going on in this dystopian society. It turns out almost nobody likes Citizen Brown being in charge, but they're all terrified of him. Our father is spying on everybody, uh, and we need to figure out different ways to get demerits. Oh, and by the way, we think our mother might be an alcoholic, and our house has been condemned for being too dusty. Anyways, let's return to the game. So, here's our father George spying on people. We got halfway through the conversation with him.
Dad. Huh?
There's so much,
Hello, son.
so many
What's on your
dialogue
mind?
choices. I don't
Okay,
remember
Dad,
half of
we
them.
need to talk.
Okay. Ask about Mom.
It's about Mom.
How did
How'd
she
she
get
get to
like
be such a mess? This isn't how she is in my perfect world.
You're right. It's a real puzzle. Because of course we both know Hill Valley is a perfect world, but for some peculiar reason, the harder I try to get her to conform to the rules, the more she slips up.
She's thinking about signing up for the Citizen Plus program.
Is she now?
You're not gonna let her go through with it, are you?
Well, from what I hear, it's a fairly drastic procedure which completely reshapes the subject's personality. On the other hand, if Citizen Brown recommends it, it's gotta be a good thing.
Can't you back off?
Don't you
Oh, that's a
think
good
Mom would
question.
be a little more relaxed if you gave her just a little bit of space?
Now, there's a fine suggestion. What would Hill Valley be like if people gave each other space? Why, we'd all be tempted to follow our own impulses, and there's no telling where that may lead.
Wow.
Something on your mind?
Okay. Ask about you.
So about you and your work.
Shoot.
How did you get
You
like
seem
this?
to be really into this spying business.
It's not spying, son. It's cinema verite. These candid moments of Hill Valley's residents will eventually be compiled and edited into the documentaries and promotional materials that advertise our way of life to the rest of the world. True, you can argue that I've taken things to extremes, but I still get up to take my meals, and of course to use the facilities.
You're supposed to be a sci-fi writer.
You're supposed to be, I mean, wouldn't you rather spend your time writing, say, science fiction novels?
Science fiction. I did mess around with that once, but that was before Citizen Brown made it illegal.
Science fiction's illegal?
Sci-fi promotes an unhealthy obsession with the fantastic and impossible, and it encourages the idea that there might be better societies than Hill Valley, which is subversive nonsense, of course.
Wow.
Okay, different subject.
Wow. Hill Valley.
Hill Valley has a lot of rules.
It certainly does, for our own good.
How could
Public
kissing be
kissing is
illegal?
illegal, right?
Ah, the old PDA law. Indeed it is. And what's more, violation carries a hefty load of demerits. But you know, it's a law people break with surprising regularity. Why, I could show you videotaped evidence.
How exactly do people get other people to break it?
On second thought, perhaps I shouldn't show you the videotaped evidence.
Okay, so maybe we need to see the videotaped evidence.
If I got caught with a contraband item, I'd get in a lot of trouble, right?
You certainly would. You could be facing up to 1,000 demerits, depending on the item. But of course, you wouldn't be caught dead with anything illegal. It's your mother I'm worried about.
Okay, 1,000 demerits.
Did you ever harbor a dangerous animal?
Aha! Couldn't if I wanted to. They've all been banned. But I did catch something very interesting on one of my monitors yesterday. Which one was it? Oh, yes! Does that look like a stray dog to you? Whatever it is, Edna's Animal Patrol will make short work of it.
Ah. So there's Einstein.
Something on your mind?
So I think Einstein came back from the past with us and must have gotten into the city by himself. Alright. Dust mites.
So, when is this dust mite problem gonna be solved so I can get to all my stuff?
Well, the cleanup crew said they'd probably get around to it by tonight, but they're kind of backed up, so I wouldn't expect them until tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Where am I supposed to sleep?
I got it all covered, son. We're gonna camp out back just like we did when you were little.
Okay, this timeline is officially a nightmare.
I think we know how the monitors work, but let's ask
How exactly
anyways.
does this setup work?
I'm glad to see you taking an interest. Each of these monitors is connected to multiple cameras, of which I've strategically jacked into throughout the valley, with official clearance, of course. I can switch between cameras with these buttons. There's also a VCR for each monitor. I keep a record of everything I see, so if I happen across something intriguing, I can keep it on file.
So maybe I have to get myself recorded doing some bad stuff. He may be the only one actually spying on anybody. And then something
it's about someone we both know.
someone
Yes?
we both know. Okay. Tell me about Biff.
Have you seen Biff lately?
Not since he went to the reconditioning center. Is he back among the living?
Depends on what you mean by living. He's really different from the way I remember him.
Lucky dog. In a way, it isn't fair that Hill Valley's biggest scofflaw should be the first to receive the benefits of the new Citizens Plus program. But I know I shouldn't be jealous.
Tell me about Citizen Brown.
You ever spend time with Citizen Brown?
Well, of course I'm in the audience for every one of his public addresses.
One-on-one, I mean.
Oh, no. He'd never notice a common Sector L citizen like me. But I dream
Sector L.
someday he'll recognize me for my public service and maybe let me shake his hand.
What do you know about
What can you
Edna?
tell me about Edna?
Mrs. Citizen Brown? Oh, she's a wonderful woman. People just think of her as this sweet, self-effacing grandmotherly type.
Edna? Are we talking about the
But
same?
really, she's just as involved in running the town as her husband is.
Brother and
David
sister.
and Linda.
Have you heard from them?
No, I thought maybe you had.
Not in ages. As far as I know, he's still working for the big city newspaper, and she's still in that women's boarding house. I'll never understand why they decided to leave Hill Valley.
Okay,
Something on your mind?
so that's
Well,
enough
I'll leave you
conversation
to your
with them.
snooping.
Supervising, son. Supervising.
I'll leave you to it.
Right.
Hey, demerit.
I didn't even know he had.
Insufficiently polished shoes.
Uh,
Good day, citizen.
Hey, what's my guitar doing out here?
Your mother and I convinced you to give it up, remember? Rock and roll music is frowned on by the Brown administration. It sets a poor example for all the kids who look up to you as a model of studiousness and moral gravity. And besides, you're not very good.
Come on, Dad, I need that guitar.
Give me one good reason why I should give it back to you.
Because...
Music is good for you. Rock and roll's my destiny. I needed to
a
impress.
certain girl is only gonna like me if I can play the guitar.
A certain girl. You don't mean...
Jennifer.
Oh, Martin. Why are you fixated on that little hellion? She's nothing but trouble.
Yeah, my kind of trouble.
And besides, the way you play guitar, you're only gonna drive her further Go ahead, son. Do your worst.
Thanks, Dad.
Since you're bad at it.
The perfect place to
So it's weird the peanut brittle is just sitting here, and it's so prevalent,
Marty. What's that, officer?
and yet that doesn't seem like anything. Well, the bug light. Let's look at the bug light.
Effective against moths, mosquitoes, and tannins.
Hmm.
Good morning, Mrs. Brown.
talk to the squawk box.
What's the problem, citizen?
Oops, wrong number.
Can we... Here's the car. Can we use it? Yeah. Back to the main part of the city, where I think most of the stuff is going on. So, let's talk to our mother here and see if we can get more of the story, if she really is a drunk. Ask about me.
I'm having a bad day, Mom. Can I ask you a few things?
We all have our share, son.
I lost my timesheet. What have I got going on this week?
Well, Monday is Junior Brown Brigade,
Junior what now?
and Tuesday is Model UN.
Model UN.
Mm-hmm. You represent Djibouti. On Wednesday, you'll be
Djibouti.
overseeing the board game club at the rec center.
Okay, I've heard enough.
What about
I
me?
saw Jennifer earlier today.
Oh, Jennifer, what a spunky gal. Are you two patching things up?
So she's
Totally
happy.
blew me off.
Well, I'm not the world's biggest dating expert, seeing as how I married the first guy to fall from the sky. But maybe you should spend a little less time with your microscopes and ant farms, and a little more time tending to her needs. What kind of things is she passionate about, Martin? What are her interests?
I don't even know anymore.
You see,
When did I become
Everyone is
such a
treating me
square?
like some sort of goody two-shoes, Mom.
they're just jealous that you're such a perfect citizen of Hill Valley.
Have I always been this way?
Always been a perfect little son. Going on 18 years now.
Really?
What about that time I set fire to the living room?
Oh, but you only did that so you could show us the fire retardant you made with your chemistry set.
Heavy. All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
Wow. About Dad.
So, what's up with Dad?
Ugh, indeed. What is up with him?
That setup in his garage is pretty intense.
That's not the word I'd use. More like creepy.
I heard that!
Huh. About Hill Valley and its
Is
rules.
it just me or does Hill
We're
Valley
doing a
feel
lot
really
of
strict
dialogue stuff.
Some might even call it stifling. But you didn't hear that from me.
Tell me about the
today?
PDA.
Biff told me that he got in trouble for public displays of affection.
Can you believe it? Sure, things got a little out of control back in the 60s with the free love and all, but now even holding hands will get you a verbal warning.
Wait, so you can't even kiss?
Can't even hug. It's barbaric. City Hall treats us like a bunch of children going to the movies.
Biff was talking about all the contraband he used to keep. Do you know anything about that?
What are you implying, Martin?
I'm not implying anything. I just want to know what kind of contraband might still be around. You know, so I can watch out for it. Like a good citizen.
Well, I wouldn't know about such things, but people still smuggle alcohol in from the next county. I heard the kids at school have been smuggling Xerox copies of Dungeons and Dragons. I bet you'd be into something like that, huh?
I'll get back to you on that.
There was a long time that Dungeons and Dragons was considered the out thing, but now in 2015 the fashionable thing is to be nerdy and geeky, so there is really not much of an out thing. Tell me about dogs.
Is it true that Biff was responsible for getting dogs outlawed?
I think that was all Edna's idea. She's always had a sore spot for dogs. Now your father and I, we love dogs.
You do? I didn't know that. How come we never had a dog?
We had meant to get one to teach you children about responsibility, but by the time we had you, dogs had already been banned. Now I don't think we'll ever have the chance to raise a puppy.
Jeez, Mom, that could be the saddest thing I've ever heard. All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
So, Hill Valley. Let's ask about you.
What about you, Mom?
What about me?
What are you doing out here polishing the statue?
I know. I was scheduled to clean the clock this month, but then Needle's mom ate some of that bad tofu that's been going around. So there was
Bad
some
tofu.
reshuffling in the L sector duty roster, and here I am. I kinda wish I was cleaning the clock, though. So much nicer up there without all the cameras.
The cameras?
Wave to Big Brother, or Big Husband in this case.
I saw you talking to Biff about the Citizen Plus program.
Biff says I'd be a perfect candidate for it.
I know Biff, and if that's what the Citizen Plus program does to people, then you don't want any part of it.
But Biff has been reformed. Look at him. He seems so happy now. So at peace with this town. What I wouldn't give.
He's a total veg, Mom.
Your father is always telling me that I don't invest enough in the workings of our great citizen Brown. Maybe it's time for me to turn a new leaf and just go with the flow.
Okay, just hold off for a bit, please. I don't want you doing anything rash. All right, let's talk about something else.
It'd take her 2
Alright,
years,
dear.
anyways. Ask about somebody
I
else?
feel like I don't know anybody anymore.
Well, Martin, that could be a sign you need to get out more.
What do you know about
Is there any way I
Citizen?
could talk to Citizen Brown?
Oh, you know how difficult that is, Martin. The great man spends so much time coming up with new rules and demerits that he barely has time to talk to us anymore. I guess that's the price we pay for a safe, happy city.
So he doesn't see anyone?
Not unless someone starts rolling up the demerits. He still takes a personal interest in those situations. And of course you could talk to Mrs. Brown.
Clara?
No, silly. Edna.
Edna Strickland?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wait, Doc, Citizen Brown is married to Edna Strickland?
what,
Did
how
you get
can
a
we have
bump
this
on the head or
conversation now?
something? They've been happily married for nearly 40 years.
We figured this out
If you ask
so
me,
many different
I
ways.
think Edna wears the pants in the relationship. She's the one always announcing the day-to-day bulletins. Probably writes them herself.
I need to sit down. Biff seems, unusually mellow.
Well, he should be. He just finished the Citizen Plus program. So far, it looks like it's done him a world of good.
You don't think he seems a bit off?
A little
I mean,
too much
he's
dialogue
so
going on at this
un-Biff.
point.
Well, isn't that the point? You remember what he used to be like? He was an unholy terror.
He wasn't that bad.
Now, sure, but you should have seen him in high school.
I can imagine.
Ask
What
her.
do you think of Jennifer, Mom?
Well, she certainly looked like quite a handful, dear. I was really hoping some of her, joie de vivre would have rubbed off on you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Martin, you can be a little uptight sometimes.
Please, don't sugarcoat it, Mom.
Well, maybe you needed to hear it. There's nothing wrong with having priorities in life. Just maybe Jennifer should have been a little higher on your list.
Yeah, she should.
Well, you did buy that guitar. That's a step in the right direction. Women love musicians. Just keep practicing and I'm sure you'll get better.
What are you talking about? I'm a great musician.
That's the spirit.
Jen's dad doesn't seem to like me very much.
He's just a little stressed out, dear. Filling the crime-stomping shoes of his legendary father makes poor Danny Jr. a little twitchy.
So I see.
But he gets the job done. Between him and his father, Hill Valley's been as dry as the Sahara Desert for decades now. Unfortunately.
Try. Doc was right. We did overdo it. All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
Mom, are you drinking again?
Don't be silly, dear. Booze is illegal, you know.
Yeah, Mom. It's just that Dad mentioned.
Your father. Why, I just can't get away from his prying eyes. Always spying, always watching. You mind your own business, George.
Now, Lorraine, this is for your own good. I know you're keeping a secret from me.
It's mine to keep.
Dad! Mom! Knock it off, you two!
Now, you listen here, young man. This is an adult matter between your mother and me.
Dad, I know, but your way isn't working. You gotta give her some space here.
Huh? Where'd she go?
Mom?
Aha! I knew it. What is that in your hand? Rum? Gin? A wine cooler?
For your information, it's brass cleaner. I have a job to do here, you know.
Lorraine.
No.
Lorraine, I'm just trying to look out for you. You know the kind of trouble we can get into if you're drinking again.
George, I wouldn't be so on edge if you weren't suffocating me all the time.
Was that
So
an
it looks
admission?
like
An admission of how smothered I am by you.
we've seen that part. I don't see Einstein here. So we've got a couple of issues here I think we can figure out now. That was a lot of talking, a lot of pointing via verbal dialogue towards what they wanted us to do versus having some more items to interact with. It's a very difficult thing to balance.
Okay, okay. Welcome to Soupmo, where soup is just... Oh, it's you. This better be important, McFly.
Leech, was that Jennifer?
Well, A, it's none of your business, and B, seeing as she ain't your chick no more, yeah.
Okay, now this timeline is really pissing me off.
I don't even know who Leech is. He must have been in the movie at some point. Some movie.
You and Jennifer? Really?
Oh, is the poor little nerd jealous?
Well, yeah, and a little disgusted.
That's probably the soup.
You got a cold or something?
Ugh, it's allergies. I swear there's a dog hanging out around here somewhere.
A dog?
Yeah, and the stupid mutt keeps trying to steal my free samples.
Oh.
What's on the menu?
Soup.
Just soup?
And more.
What's the more?
Falls under the more category.
We got neat loaf. It's made with textured wheat protein.
No thanks.
What kind of
What
soup?
kind of soup you got?
Scrolle...
Ribellini?
Yeah, that's right.
Some things never change.
The same soup that was made in 1931. Any more?
What else falls under the more category?
Well, there's the hum burger. It's made from pressed roasted hummus.
Do you have any real meat back there?
Define real.
I'm afraid to ask, but what other non-soup food do you have? Anything edible?
Well, we have these pea and liver with soy cheese hot dogs. They're new, and we're offering free samples. You want one?
Sure, I'll take a sample.
Where are the free samples?
Here. I keep them behind the counter.
Oh, that looks...
Oh, God.
If you puke, you're cleaning it up, wuss.
I can't finish this.
Not my problem.
Why are they behind the
Why are the
counter?
samples behind the counter?
I can't leave them out, dude. There's a DOG running around town, and he keeps going after the sample tray, knocking them all over the ground.
A dog? Wait, these samples haven't been on the ground, have they?
Geez, McFly, relax. They're fresh. Mostly.
About this dog.
About this dog. What's he look like?
Beats me. He's a smart little SOB. He only comes around when my back is turned.
Then how do you know it's
Okay.
a dog? You can smell him?
Allergies, dimwit.
What are those things?
Those are the liver and peas with soy cheese hot dogs.
Ew.
You and me both, brown noser.
Okay.
You better treat Jen with respect, Leech.
Hey, I got nothing but respect for Jennifer. Respect for her eyes, for her hips, the way she wriggles when she...
Hey!
Now, that dork that let her get away, there's a loser that I got no respect for.
Alright.
You sure there's a dog around here?
Listen, smart boy, there's only two things I'm allergic to. Dogs and disco, and I don't hear no chicka bow wow, do you?
No.
Then it's a dog.
Okay, so
See ya.
we've...
Smell you later.
Let's check our inventory. We have the terrible hot dog sample. Now how
Cheese,
can we
liver,
get...
and soy. Three things that have nothing to do with hot dogs. Reminds me of the liver treats Doc used to give Einstein.
Yep. That's why Einstein likes him. So how...
Hey! There's that mangy. Ah, go get him, McFly!
Why does he have a muzzle on? Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Let's, while we're here, try to woo Jennifer with our guitar.
Check this out.
What? You swiped your big brother's guitar? Is that supposed to impress me?
It's not my brother's, it's mine.
Yeah, sure. And you'd play it for me, only you don't have an amp.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pathetic.
So we got some spray paint. Now let's walk the plank. And we're in
He's
a
gotta
whole
be
new
hiding in
area.
here somewhere.
Fridge.
Stay put now, boy. Wherever you are. Not a sign of him. I don't want to go digging through the trash and...
Interesting. So I think I screwed up.
McFly, my spray can?
Oh,
Dork.
Okay, at least he came back. I was afraid we were gonna have to go. Alright, let's talk to Jennifer a little bit, even though we've done too much talking.
What is it now?
you and Leech, Jennifer?
Hey, don't badmouth Leech. There's a lot more to him than soup, you know.
Like what?
For one thing, he wields an axe like nobody's business.
You haven't seen a stray dog around here, have you?
Not since they were banned.
Okay.
Your paint's starting to streak.
Ah!
So, when he gets her attention in the animation, it seems like he just pokes her in the back. Seems like a strange way to get someone's attention. So let's try the spray paint on the graffiti.
Don't even think about it.
On the door.
What to paint? What to paint?
Let's see.
What to paint? What to paint?
I think if you spray painted something anti-Citizen Brown,
Where could he be hiding?
alright. So let's use this on the palette here.
Decency prevents me from leaving this here.
Let's use this on the fridge.
Decency prevents me from leaving this here.
And then let's use this on the table.
Decency prevents me from leaving this here.
Oh, and I think I figured it out.
You in there, Einie? Or whatever your name is these days? Not a sign of him.
He's gonna be in the wrong position each time. I need to take the spray paint, put it on the plank.
It would look better blue.
And now we just walk back here to convince him to run back that way. She doesn't ask for the spray paint because I don't have it anymore, which is an odd thing for the game to have a different reaction just because I've used an item. Normally what you would want is for them to say something like, "Oh, I can't believe you used all my paint on that stupid plank." But now we see what we're doing here. We'll see little blue paw prints right to where
Now we're in business.
he is.
Decency prevents me from leaving this here.
Still doesn't want the treat.
I outsmarted you, didn't I? Ah, don't be like that, Einie.
Alright.
Look, Einie, I've got a treat for you. Attaboy. Now hold still.
Be funny if he starts
See?
talking
I'm
right
not such
now.
a bad guy, right? Whoa, okay. I guess I've won you over. I wish they were all this easy. Huh? What is it, boy? Einstein, wait! No!
Rabies! Rabies! Help!
Back! Down! Sit! Play dead!
Officer Parker, subdue that beast at once!
Einstein, sit!
Einstein? Oh, if he bites me, you'll be in a world of trouble, citizen. Wait, I know that creature. Officer Parker, that's the stray that keeps escaping the kennel. I thought he was muzzled.
I took the muzzle off.
You what?
That's right, he's my dog now.
Citizen, you are in violation of Statute 357K.
Parker, demerit this hooligan at once. I'll return this creature to the kennel.
Yes, ma'am.
Filthy, wretched beasts.
Don't worry, Einie. Once I fix all this, you'll be back with Doc and romping through time.
Now stay out of trouble, unless you want a visit from Citizen Brown.
So we did one of them. Now we need an amp. Let's see. How could we get an amp? We haven't seen an amp. We can't use... Let's look at this dog.
This one's for harboring or owning a vicious dog. Aw, Einstein's just misunderstood. A stranger in a strange land. Like me.
Yep. Can we use the thing with the squawk box?
That's no way to treat such a fine guitar.
Doesn't look like we can. So we've got to find an amp somewhere, and we've got to potentially help our mother out in one way or the other. Either way, though, we'll do that next episode, because that's it for this episode. 2 episodes pretty heavy on the dialogue, but I think we've gone through enough of the dialogue that we won't go through much more. Maybe I could have been better about balancing it out, but the game really didn't help in that way. Anyways, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.